welcome to my channel. This is Ingutu, and again I'm giving you an update video on the progress I'm making with my PhD. If you haven't seen the other videos that I've made relating to writing challenge that I set myself in early July, or the update video to that writing challenge that was 2 weeks long, as well as the two other videos that I've made previously, I will include them in the description box, and you can check out those links. I am a PhD researcher who is also a mother, and I have just a few months to go until I submit my PhD thesis. So I'm making these videos basically to give regular updates on the process, on the progress, and hopefully you find it useful. It's definitely useful to me because publicly sharing my progress and my next steps is in a way helping me to stay on track with my goal, not because I just want to prove I'm working, but it sort of helps me keep a diary, a visual diary of what I've done, what I intend to do, where I am, and really thinking about where I'm going with this PhD. The goal, yes, obviously, is to be submission ready. The D-Day is before December. I have had, over the last couple of weeks, since July when I set myself the 10-day writing challenge, I've had moments where I have doubted my ability to meet that deadline, and I constantly have to tell myself, don't panic. Not because I have until eternity to do this, but panicking and worrying about the progress, I find, doesn't really help me advance. I get stuck at, oh no, I have very time to do this, or I have so much to do still. So anyways, these videos are helping me sort of keep on track and stay with my goal, which is make my submission deadline before December. So since the writing challenge, I have moved on very well, relatively quickly, and I printed out a hard copy of my thesis. I have been reading it through. I have managed to work on 3 of the 6 chapters that I have completed, and sent those off to get proofread. I have been in the last couple of weeks digging in deeply into my data chapters, which I'm giving you another update video about. That's what this video is about, although I'm rambling on. Anyways, in the last video that I did, I spoke about how my data chapters were really giving me problems and issues, and I was stuck and I didn't know. I thought I was being clever or smart or innovative by changing around the organization of my data chapters, while initially the new structure that I came up with, or the new outline that I came up with, looked nice. It looked very attractive. I used the table of contents that I had, and I drew up a new outline, and then when it came to crunch time to putting the content under these this new outline, that also went well. But then halfway through, I stopped myself and I realized, okay, this reorganization is going to require new intros, new conclusions to these data chapters, to the individual sections in these chapters. And I thought, okay, do I have time to do this? Is this really necessary? Is there a possible way I could work around this new change? Basically, I realized right now at this stage where I am, where I'm supposed to be submitting my thesis, changing around the structure of the data chapters really isn't going to help me. I mean, I already thought through, I spent many months thinking over thinking about how I was going to organize these data chapters. Actually, the hardest part of writing my thesis, apart from initially getting the interview, was transcribing and then later sorting out this data. So I didn't come to the decision of the structure of these chapters easily. No, I spent a lot of time on them. So I just had to step back and tame my innovation or my creativity per se, as it wasn't really helping me. I wasn't really going anywhere. I wasn't advancing, and that's the goal, to advance, to get to the next stage, which is finishing with dealing with the data, so I can get to my discussion chapter. What are my major conclusions? So anyways, I stopped myself dead in the tracks per se, although that was after spending several hours, several days working on this structure. First of all, I was initially pissed off with myself because I felt, okay, I've wasted good working hours, a good amount of time on these chapters. What next? So after this realization that this new structure that I was trying to come up with wasn't really taking me closer to the end, and the initial frustration of realizing that I spent time doing this work ultimately for nothing, playing around with chapters that are basically fine. Really, even when I look at the notes or the feedback that my supervisor gave me, he really just asked me to do one thing with each of these chapters, which was clarify or improve my introduction, and then define how the contents of these chapters related to, one, the overarching theme of my thesis, and how they relate to my research questions. But no, I decided I needed to do more, which I played myself basically. Anyways, I've gotten over that frustration, and I'm working with the data chapters again. Well, I never stopped, but I'm working with them as they were originally. So there are 3 data chapters. Each chapter tackles a specific topic or theme that has come out from the data analysis that I have done. And well, since the structure is pretty straightforward and I don't really have anything to do there, I'm just doing a bit more signposting, because I noticed I would have a chapter, for example, and in that chapter I have sections. So as I move from one section to the next, in my head it was pretty clear that next the section ABCD. But if someone else read it, I think they would be a little bit lost. Some sections just end pretty abruptly, and I don't talk about, well, okay, this section covered ABCD, and the next section is going to talk about ABCD. And this is tough, you know, because already I have a very high word count, and I feel all this signposting, improved section endings is just adding to my word count. But it has to be done, because yes, it's my work. I know it in and out. I'm very personally attached or very personally acquainted with the contents of this these data chapters, but that's not the case for the people who read it, my internal examiner and my external examiner. And I really would like for them to be able to see the development of a story per se. But anyways, that's that, and no more creativity or changing up the data chapters. One other thing I've realized I'm going to have to do, and this is both this is frustrating and annoying really, but it has to be done. I thought I didn't have to write a completely new chapter before, and I mentioned this in my previous video, but that's not the case. I am going to have to write a new chapter. And yeah, anyways, that's something for when I finish dealing with the data chapters. I mentioned previously that I have of this printed document, I have 261 pages, with the in-between pause of sorting out the first 3 chapters that I sent off to proofread and writing up a chapter more clearly. This was my methodology chapter. I sort of cleaned it up and I think I'm done with it. I'm not doing any more with that chapter. Basically, as I have mentioned, I need to just finish working on the data chapters, and the task is very simple. How do the chapters relate to my overall research aim? How do they relate to my research questions? I need to stop trying to be creative and invent new ways of dealing or improving this work. I need at some point to just say, you know, it's done, and just, yeah, let it go. That's what I need to do. I need to focus and stop self-sabotaging my progress by, like I said, inventing new ways of trying to present the work. It's pretty much done. I need to just yeah, finish editing these data chapters, send them also to get proofread, and then send everything to my supervisor. Yeah, that's basically the plan. So yeah, I'm going to stop talking about the data chapters and how that has gone. But anyways, yeah, that's enough from me for today. I hope something from this video helps you. I really would like to hear from other research students. You could be doing your master's degree or your PhD degree, your PhD research. How is it going for you? Do you have what are you worrying about? What are you contending with in your everyday life? Is it working part-time and studying, having to support yourself? Are you raising a family? Are you doing that alone? Is someone helping you? How are you managing? Because yeah, it's good to share these things. Okay, so until next time, bye.